Somewhere in America right now, someone is sitting in a dealership signing a loan document for a $65,000 truck. Their monthly payment is $987. Their annual salary is $52,000. And the most frightening part? They genuinely believe they can afford it. This is not a story about rich people making expensive choices. This is a story about a perfectly designed financial trap that is quietly pulling wealth away from millions of hardworking people every single month. And by the time this video ends, you will see this trap so clearly that you will never be able to unsee it. Welcome to FinInvest, where we break down the financial decisions that make or break your future with honesty, real numbers, and zero fluff. Today we are talking about car payments, specifically how ordinary people on ordinary salaries are somehow carrying payments that would have seemed completely irrational just 10 years ago. And more importantly, what this is actually costing them in long-term wealth. Let us get into it. Let us start with the numbers. Because when most people hear the average car payment in America today, their first reaction is disbelief. The average new car payment has crossed $735 per month. Not for a luxury vehicle, not for a sports car. That is the average payment for a regular new car purchased by a regular person. When you move into trucks and SUVs, which are now the most purchased vehicle category in America, those payments routinely exceed $900 per month. Payments above $1,200 are no longer rare. To put that in perspective, $1,200 per month on a car is more than the average rent in dozens of cities around the world. People are paying more to park a depreciating machine in their garage than they pay to sleep under a roof. But here is where the real damage happens. When you add up the loan payments, insurance, fuel, and maintenance over the life of a 7-year loan, a $55,000 truck actually costs you over $130,000. At the end of those 7 years, that truck is worth roughly $15,000. You paid $130,000 for a $15,000 asset. That is not transportation financing. That is wealth destruction, with heated seats and a sunroof. So how are people making these payments work? The answer starts with loan terms. 10 years ago, a 4-year car loan was the standard. Those days are completely gone. Today, 7- and 8-year loans are completely normal. Some lenders are now offering 10-year car loans, which is a sentence that should alarm every single person who hears it. The psychology is simple and devastating. Spread that same $60,000 truck over 8 years instead of 4, and the monthly number drops significantly. Suddenly that truck, which would have required a $1,400 monthly payment over 4 years, feels manageable at $875 over 8 years. The buyer focuses entirely on the monthly number, and the dealership knows this. They are not selling you a truck, they are selling you a monthly number. But here is what that lower monthly payment is actually costing you. The 8-year loan adds over $14,000 in extra interest compared to the 4-year option. And by year 5 of that 8-year loan, you will owe significantly more on that vehicle than it is actually worth. This is called negative equity, and it is the beginning of a cycle that is very difficult to escape. Here is how that cycle works. After 3 years, the buyer wants something newer, but they still owe more than the car is worth. So they trade it in, and the dealer rolls that negative equity directly into the new loan. Now they are paying for a car they no longer own, plus the new car they just signed for. The loan balance grows, the monthly payment stays high, the dealership gets a loyal customer, and the buyer gets further behind every single time they think they are moving forward. It is a financial treadmill, and the faster you run, the more it costs you. Then there is the 0% financing offer, which sounds incredible until you understand what is actually happening. Walk into any dealership and you will see signs advertising 0% APR for qualified buyers. What the dealership does not want you to know is that the cost of that financing is built directly into the price of the vehicle. You are either paying full price with 0% interest, or you are getting a discount and paying market rate interest. You are never, not once, getting both. The money has to come from somewhere, and it always does. Now here is the part of this trap that most videos never talk about. The numbers are only half the story. The other half is psychology. And the automotive industry is world class at using yours against you. That advertisement showing a powerful truck climbing a mountain trail in perfect golden hour lighting is not selling you transportation. It is selling you an identity. It is selling you the version of yourself you want to be. Strong, free, successful, unstoppable. And when a purchase becomes about identity rather than function, price becomes almost irrelevant. The result is that people restructure their entire financial lives around a car payment. They move to smaller apartments, they skip vacations, they cook at home every single night, they take on second jobs, sometimes even driving rideshare using the very expensive truck they are trying to pay for. The car becomes both the problem and the attempted solution at the same time. Some people go even further. They dip into retirement accounts to cover down payments. They take out loans against their home equity to manage negative equity from a previous vehicle. They are borrowing against their future and against their most important wealth-building asset to fund a machine that loses value every single day they own it. I want you to picture something. Imagine someone wearing an expensive watch while eating instant noodles for dinner. It sounds absurd, but financially, that is exactly what a $1,100 car payment looks like on a $55,000 salary. The appearance of success funded entirely by the destruction of actual wealth. Now let us talk about what this is actually costing people. Not just the number on the loan document, the opportunity cost. What that money could have become instead. Here is a real scenario. Someone buys a $55,000 truck with a 7-year loan at 6% interest. Monthly payment around $800. Feels manageable. Over the life of that loan, they pay approximately $67,000 in loan payments alone. Add insurance at $250 per month, that is another $21,000 over 7 years. Add fuel costs of $350 per month for a truck getting 15 miles per gallon, that is another $29,000. Add maintenance and repairs over 7 years, a conservative estimate of $15,000. Total spent on transportation over 7 years, over $130,000. And at the end of those 7 years, the truck is worth $15,000. They paid $130,000 for a $15,000 asset. Now, here is the part that should change the way you think about every major financial decision. If that same person had taken that $800 monthly payment and invested it into a simple index fund earning 8% annually, a historically realistic and well-documented return, they would have over $70,000 after 7 years. They would not just have avoided the financial burden of the truck, they would have built real, compounding, lasting wealth. Instead, most people have a truck worth $15,000, a loan they still owe $22,000 on, and zero invested. And this is not a one-vehicle problem. The average household today owns more cars than licensed drivers. Families running 2 or 3 simultaneous car payments are not unusual. Combined monthly car costs that exceed their housing payment, completely common. These families have built their own private wealth destruction machine, and it runs every single day, whether they drive the car or not. What to do instead? So, what is the move? Is the answer to never buy a car? No. Transportation is a genuine need. The goal is not to avoid vehicles. It is to make a financial decision, not fall into a financial trap. And the difference usually comes down to one rule. Your total vehicle costs, that means your payment, insurance, fuel, and maintenance combined, should never exceed 15% of your monthly take-home income. That is the standard that protects your financial future while still giving you reliable, comfortable transportation. On a $60,000 salary, that means total vehicle costs under $750 per month. Not just the payment, everything. A 3 to 4 year old reliable used vehicle, purchased with a short loan or, even better, saved for and bought with cash, gives you genuine transportation without the financial prison. That car may not make a statement about who you are, but your growing investment account will. Here's what I have observed about genuinely wealthy people, and I mean people who actually have wealth, not people who look wealthy. They are almost never the ones driving the newest truck or the most impressive SUV. They are the ones who made quiet, consistent, unsexy financial decisions over time and let compound interest do the heavy lifting for them. They do not look rich, they are rich. And that distinction is everything. The car payment trap is not going away. If anything, it is getting worse. Vehicles are more expensive, loan terms are getting longer, and the marketing is getting smarter. But now you see it for exactly what it is: a carefully engineered system designed to keep your money flowing away from you and toward everyone else involved in that transaction. If this video gave you a new way to think about wealth and the decisions that build it, subscribe to FinInvest. We publish videos like this every single week. Real financial education, real numbers, and strategies that actually move your life forward. The next video is already on screen. We will see you there.